revolutionary technique. This is literally the best tofu on the face of the earth. Hey, welcome back. Today we're doing a tofu dish. I did a video with Ben to Grow, and I just cooked for him and it wasn't very instructional. I used this tofu technique that I've been thinking about and it worked out really well, so I figured I may as well share that technique and show you how to make literally the best tofu I think I've ever had. We'll make a little sauce and a little side salad, just like a little appetizer. So yeah, let's get started. Hey guys! Okay, before you start this recipe, you want to get some oil heating up. We're going to be frying today, so I have some in with a thermometer, and I'm looking for 350. You probably can't see it on camera, but I'm looking for 350 degrees. The tofu is going to be cold, so you'll lose a little bit of temperature when you put the tofu in. So I'm actually going to go to about 365, and then when I put the tofu in, it'll go down to 350. This is soft tofu, not the like ultra soft stuff. It's like soft medium, I believe it's called. And we're going to brine the whole brick. Brining is this technique that you always use, not always, but a lot of times you use this for meat because meat is built up of protein, so it's really hard to get like a marinade or salt to permeate. Like if you season a steak or a piece of tofu, that salt's just on the outside. It doesn't really go inside of it. So this is a way to get that salt to go all the way inside and season your food all throughout. So people use this for pork, beef, chicken, fish. Like about a year ago, I was just like, tofu has the same protein structure as meat. Couldn't you just brine tofu and it would taste way better? I'll be honest, like, and I eat tofu all the time. Like I know for a fact it's bland. I'm not saying like tofu's amazing. It doesn't taste bad. It just doesn't taste like much, you know? So I was like, there's gotta be a way to make it at least taste seasoned. I brined it and it worked really, really well. So a brine is just salty water, basically. You're just like marinating in salty water. You can flavor it with some things, like put herbs and stuff in, but we're gonna do it super simple today because I just want the tofu to shine. I'm just gonna use tap water. I can get my tap hot enough that it will dissolve the salt and sugar. All right, went to the washroom because the water comes out a little bit hotter there. So I filled up a glass of water, which should be enough to cover this. And I'm gonna put, you know, for this amount, it's just like a tablespoon of sugar. If you're doing a small amount like this, I would say you can eyeball it and just taste your brine. But if you want a foolproof method on measurements of brine, if you have a kitchen scale, you can do 5%. Weigh the water and then do the math on your phone, whatever, use a calculator. 5% of that weight is how much salt you want for it to be like perfectly brined. Again, for something this small, you can honestly like taste it. It should just taste like salty water. And I put a little bit of sugar in there just because I like the salty sweetness. So I'm gonna put about a tablespoon in there. This water is really hot, so it will dissolve as long as I shake it up. Alternatively, like if for some reason your tap doesn't get hot enough to dissolve a little bit of salt and sugar, you can just bring it up to a boil. Now I'm just gonna pop the lid off, put this away to cool for a little bit. I just don't wanna pour it over hot so it starts to cook the tofu. Okay, so we let this cool. I'm just gonna pour this over. I actually didn't pre-measure this, so I really hope this is enough water. It is. Professional. Wrap this with some plastic wrap. I'll let it brine for, I would say minimum like 6 hours. If you're buying tofu, like take it out of the package, do this right away, let it go for a full 24 hours, then your tofu is seasoned for whatever you want to use it for. You don't have to just brine it for this dish. It'll make it taste better even for stir fries. Pretty productive yesterday, and I actually pre-did one. So I'm just gonna drain off our brine. I'm gonna try really hard not to break it because it is soft tofu. There we go. I'm just gonna cut it like into pieces about this thick. Now you just gotta kind of be careful with soft tofu because I want it to look nice. I probably should have made the mayo before we started doing the tofu. Well, I'm just gonna cut that and leave that on the cutting board. I'm just gonna make a mayo. This dish, like agadashi tofu, for anyone that's had it, it's like very classic. You go to a sushi spot and it's like, you know, $5 for this little appetizer. They give you like fried tofu that's super good, but the sauce that they give you to dip it in is like water-based, you know? Like it's like soy sauce with some like water and sugar basically. So you dip your crispy tofu in and it's immediately soggy. Like it's a flawed dish to me. I still get it because I love it, but I'm just like, is there no way to like thicken the sauce so it doesn't get soggy? So I'm gonna do kind of similar flavors, but I'm gonna make it into a mayo just because I think like things that are fried should be dipped in something thick enough that it doesn't affect the crispiness of that product. 2 egg yolks in here, and I'm gonna do about half a lemon. Just a tablespoon of soy. This will be the salt in here. Some sesame oil, and the rest avocado oil. Avocado is neutral oil, so it has no flavor, so I want to use that mostly because sesame oil is quite strong. So I'm going to use about equal parts soy sesame oil. So if I did like I probably did a tablespoon and a half, so I'll do a tablespoon and a half of this. But the only thing is I need to add this. Yeah, so I'm gonna do equal parts soy and sesame oil. I just need to add the oil. I can't add the oil now. I need to add the oil slowly with the other oil so that it emulsifies and actually makes a mayo. I know I walked through how to make a mayo a million times, but just for any new viewers, turn this blender on and we're gonna slowly add our oil. A few drops at a time to start, and then when it starts to emulsify and starts to thicken, we can go a little bit faster and a little bit faster until we reach our desired consistency. The more oil you add, the thicker your mayo will get. Periodically check your consistency. So I like it about this texture, but if you like it stiffer, just keep adding some more oil. And then we're just gonna taste and readjust if we need to adjust any seasonings. Definitely need some more acid, a little bit more lemon. Yeah, that's good. Mayo's like warmest after you've just spun it in the blender. So take it out of the blender and put it in the fridge. It will also get thicker. So keep in mind, if you make it like too thick and it's still in the blender, you may want to add some liquid to thin it out. And now we can fry our tofu. This is just plain cornstarch. And I like to do it like in a plate, just because it gives me a lot of surface area. And I'll just use a fork. Cornstarch goes super crispy as opposed to flour. Flour takes a little bit longer to cook as well. So this will be like really light, airy, and really crisp. Also, what's nice about doing it in cornstarch is not only does it get crispier, but it's gluten-free. And if you wanted to make this entire dish gluten-free, you could just use tamari soy sauce. Okay, we're going to the fryer. Won't take long, 2 minutes. And I just want to put this in something that the air can get under the bottom so it doesn't get soggy. But yeah, look at this like nice crispiness. And the great thing about using the soft tofu is when you bite into it, it's like salty and sweet and gooey. So we're gonna plate now. And you know what I realized is a last minute menu change here, but I'm gonna just add a touch of honey because I think I want a little bit of sweetness in this sauce. Just a hair. Okay, so I just got some nice greens and some scallion in here. This is just like a really quick side salad. If you ever want to make a little side salad for brunch or whatever, all you need is a little bit of greens. Hit it with some good olive oil in there. Pinch of some good flaked sea salt. Some fresh cracked pepper. Essentially like you just make the dressing in the bowl. Squeeze a little bit of lemon on here. Give this a toss. We'll just do these 3 for the nice thumbnail. Side salad. Just right here. It's just nice when you have something that's like fried food to have something that's a little bit refreshing. There we go. Nice little fried tofu appetizer. Based off agadashi tofu. And if you're wondering the little black specks, we deep fried some shit last night, so the oil's not brand new. But if you use brand new oil, it won't look like this. It'll look nice, but the oil prices went up. I'm not trying to waste a bunch of oil. Get a little sauce on here. I'm just gonna try some of the tofu first. I remember thinking this the first time that I did this. I was like, no joke, this is the best tofu I've ever had in my life. I still feel that way. It's just like seasoned, like it just tastes so much better. Why wouldn't you eat tofu only this way? It's so good. The sauce is nice. I think adding a little bit of honey was nice. It's like refreshing, citrusy, but you get like the very earthiness of the sesame. Let's get a little bite of everything now. That's such a good dish. It's just so simple. Like if I was like writing a menu, I would put this on, honestly. I've been meaning to show that technique for a while. Since I made that first video, honestly, I was like, God damn, I should have went into like why that works so well. Do some research on brining and how much it can enhance your food. If you make any of the food or use any of the techniques you've learned from me on this channel, I would really appreciate if you just let me know in the comments or send me a photo on Instagram, which is always linked down below. Thanks for spending time with me. Thanks for cooking this fucked up good tofu. And I hope you cook it. And if you don't, you're a piece of shit. See you guys next week. 3 episodes left till the season finale. Thanks.